In seconds, a Houthi cruise missile came perilously close to ripping through a state-of-the-art U.S. Navy destroyer, but a single, fatal miscalculation turned their audacious attack into a devastating response, unleashing America's military might in the Red Sea's volatile hotspot. Could they defy fate? The answer will leave you breathless with American technology and grit. At 14:23 hours on January 14, 2024, the USS Laboon, a 9,200-ton Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, was patrolling the volatile waters of the Red Sea near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. This was no ordinary cruise. The Laboon was part of Operation Prosperity Guardian, a multinational effort to secure vital shipping lanes against escalating threats from Houthi militants in Yemen. Backed by Iranian technology and support, the Houthis had been ramping up attacks on commercial vessels, claiming solidarity with Gaza amid broader regional tensions. But today, they crossed a line that would prove fatal. A single anti-ship cruise missile, modified by Iranian engineers from a standard C-802 design, rocketed from a concealed launcher near Hodeidah, Yemen. Its warhead packed 165 kilograms of high explosives, capable of ripping through a destroyer's hull like a hot knife through butter. The missile's trajectory was calculated to exploit the Laboon's position, climbing to altitude before diving in a steep terminal phase. Unknown to the Houthis, their bold move was about to collide with the unmatched professionalism of the U.S. Navy. This wasn't just a skirmish, it was a test of resolve in one of the world's most dangerous choke points, where $1 trillion in annual trade flows through waters now turned into a powder keg. The Laboon's crew, 300 strong, had been on high alert for weeks. Radar operators in the Combat Information Center scanned the horizon relentlessly, their SPY-1D radar painting every contact within 200 nautical miles. The ship carried 96 vertical launch cells loaded with SM-2 and SM-6 missiles, ready to swat threats from the sky. But the Houthis, emboldened by recent strikes on merchant ships, saw the Laboon as a prime target, a symbol of American interference. Their missile, launched from a mobile truck-mounted system hidden in Yemen's rugged terrain, accelerated to Mach 0.8, skimming low initially to evade detection before popping up for its final dive. Beijing and Tehran might have whispered encouragement, but the Houthis were about to learn why challenging a U.S. Navy destroyer in open water is a recipe for disaster. The Red Sea, with its narrow passages and heavy traffic, over 50 commercial vessels within 100 miles, depended on the U.S. Navy's presence for safe passage. Tankers carrying Saudi oil, container ships bound for Europe, all would be at risk if the Houthis turned these waters into their personal hunting ground. But that would require besting the Laboon, a ship designed for exactly this kind of fight. At 14:25, the radar pinged. A fast-moving contact, classified as hostile based on speed and heading. The tactical action officer watched with the cool precision drilled into every sailor. Threat assessment: high. The missile was closing at 600 knots, its path arcing high for a top attack profile. The math was simple but terrifying for the Houthis. Their weapon could cover the distance in under 4 minutes, but the Laboon's defenses could respond in seconds. Do you think a single missile could take down a U.S. Navy destroyer? The truth is about to unfold in a blaze of technology and grit. At 14:26, the alarm blared through the Laboon's corridors. Incoming missile, bearing 210, range 45 nautical miles, set condition 1. Sailors scrambled to battle stations, the ship's engines surging to flank speed as the captain ordered evasive maneuvers. The missile, now positively identified as an Iranian-modified anti-ship type, was executing its programmed pop-up climb, reaching 10,000 feet before beginning its steep dive. But a critical flaw emerged. A minor navigation error in the Houthis' targeting data likely from rushed calculations or outdated intel. This glitch caused the missile to overshoot its apex by just 500 feet, buying the Laboon precious seconds. Inside the Combat Information Center, radar operators locked on with mechanical precision. The Spy 1D, the Navy's eyes in the sky, painted a crystal-clear picture of the threat. "Fire control solution ready," the weapons officer reported. With a thunderous roar, an SM-2 missile erupted from a forward vertical launch cell, streaking upward at Mach 3.5. It intercepted the incoming threat at 20 nautical miles out, detonating in a fireball that scattered debris across the sea. But the Houthis weren't done. Intelligence chatter suggested this was part of a larger pattern, with multiple launchers potentially active. The Laboon's crew documented everything: timestamps, signal signatures, trajectory data. This near miss wasn't just luck. It was the result of years of training and superior tech. The ship's cooperative engagement capability shared data instantly with nearby assets, including the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group 120 nautical miles away. At 14:30, the order came from Central Command: locate and neutralize the launch site. Advanced surveillance kicked in. Overhead, an MQ-4C Triton drone, orbiting at 50,000 feet, provided real-time imagery with its multi-intelligence sensor suite. Satellite feeds from KH-11 birds pinpointed heat signatures near Hodeidah, truck-mounted launchers dispersing after the shot. The data fused into a tactical picture: 3 mobile batteries, each with 4 missiles. Guarded by anti-air radar and 50 militants, the Eisenhower's flight deck sprang to life. 4 FA-18E Super Hornets from Strike Fighter Squadron 83, the Rampagers, catapulted off in 45-second intervals. Loaded with AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missiles and GBU-31 JDAMs, they climbed to 30,000 feet, their AN APG-79 AESA radars scanning for threats. At 15:05, the Hornets entered Yemeni airspace. Houthi radars lit up, attempting locks with Soviet-era systems upgraded by Iran. But the American jets jammed them with ALQ-99 pods, turning enemy screens into static. One Hornet pilot reported, "Ghost contacts everywhere, they're chasing shadows." The lead aircraft acquired the first launcher at 25 nautical miles, releasing a HARM that homed in on the radar emissions, exploding in a 200-pound blast that silenced the site. The others followed, diving in pairs. At 15:12, the high-value target, a hardened bunker command post buried under 50 feet of rock. 2 Hornets unleashed GBU-31s, 2,000-pound bunker busters with GPS guidance. The bombs penetrated, detonating deep inside with earth-shaking force equivalent to 1,000 pounds of TNT each. Secondary explosions ripped through ammo stores, sending plumes of smoke 1,000 feet high. Houthi fighters scrambled, firing man-pads wildly, but the Hornets' flares and evasive rolls turned the sky into a light show. By 15:20, all 3 launch sites were craters, 40 militants confirmed neutralized, and the command bunker a smoking ruin. The Hornets egressed low and fast, their afterburners lighting the horizon. Back on the Laboon, cheers echoed as the threat board cleared. What started as a desperate challenge had become a textbook demonstration of American naval power. But the real question: would this deter the Houthis or invite more escalation? Let's see how it all wrapped up. By 1600 hours on January 14, 2024, the Red Sea returned to an uneasy calm. The smoke from Yemen's coast, visible even from the Laboon's bridge. The Houthis' gamble had backfired spectacularly. In under 2 hours, U.S. forces had turned a near miss into total dominance, destroying 3 mobile missile batteries, a command bunker, and crippling Houthi operations in the region. Casualty estimates from drone footage: over 50 militants killed or wounded, with 50 million in Iranian-supplied hardware reduced to scrap. The GBU-31 strikes alone had burrowed through reinforced concrete, igniting fuel and munitions in chain reactions that collapsed entire facilities. for the Laboon's crew. The incident was a stark reminder of the razor's edge they walked. Minor navigation errors on the enemy's side had saved lives, but American readiness had sealed the deal. No U.S. casualties. Just a few rattled nerves and reinforced respect for their systems. In Washington, the Pentagon briefing was blunt. This was aggression met with precision. The Houthis thought they could challenge us. Today, they learned otherwise. The strike sent shockwaves through Tehran and Sana'a, exposing vulnerabilities in their proxy networks. Allies in the region, from Saudi Arabia to Israel, breathed easier, knowing the UMOI, Navy's shield held firm. But the broader lesson was clear. In modern naval warfare, speed, tech, and coordination turn threats into opportunities. The Houthis' arrogance had cost them dearly, while America reaffirmed its role as guardian of the seas. Now, I turn the question to you. Was this the strike that finally broke Houthi momentum in the Red Sea, or just the start of a longer storm? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you value in-depth analysis like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next story of conflict shaping our world. Conflict shaping our world.